sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This will allow me to report.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe. And today I won't be trying to make sense out of the senseless, because what we're going to be discussing just does not make fucking sense at all. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, go to Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. And, well, if you like the live stream, please click subscribe and keep up to date. If you want to support the show and support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one and click on the Reaver store. So we're going to be talking primarily about the news that pretty much swept yesterday and rocked the country again. And then I'm going to say right off the fucking bat, I am absolutely sick of these liberals. Their own community, their own people that they support were attacked by terrorists. And do they want to stick up for them? No. First thing yesterday afternoon, we had Florida State Senator Geraldine Constant, a Democrat, instead of talking about the victims, is more worried about pushing gun control. They still don't even know how many people are dead and how many are going to live. And she's more fucking worried about pushing gun control. That is sickening. That is a mental illness on the top degree. There's so many things that are absolutely appalling. This piece of shit that took the lives of so many Americans was driving around in a car with a license plate. And it's a Florida license plate that you have to pay extra for. A United States Marines license plate. There's so much stuff that is going to have you scratching your head today. And hopefully it makes you, because we need to really question. I laugh because I actually had an itch in my head and I just started scratching my head. And anybody watching the video would have been like, I'm sorry. I was up late watching this stuff. It's appalling. The Democrats can't get it through their heads. This is not about gun violence. This is about terrorists wanting to kill us, wanting to end our way of life. Period. No other sentences, no other comments. That is what they want to do. They want to end our freedom. They hate our freedom. So what does the Democrats want to do? take away our freedoms. And Jenna, no, not in the state of Florida, because you can get the license plates. It's not that you're saying you are a U.S. Marine. It is you're paying tribute to a U.S. Marine, and you are honoring the Marines by those plates. And usually they set up charities for all these specialized plates in Florida that the money goes to certain groups. So I've got, my wife has firefighter plates. My dad has Coast Guard plates. This guy had Marines, United States Marine Corps. Whether you want to believe it or not. And last night, I was honored to be a special guest on a roundtable discussion with Dan Butcher on his show. He brought in, as he said, some of the best conservative minds that he knows. And I don't know why I was brought in, but Sackett Sean, Ken the Conservative, his normal host, but also one of the great conservatives. Dan the unpleasant blind guy. And I said it last night, and I gotta say it again. And it's Leon Trotsky. You may not be interested in war, but war is interested in you. The American people may not want war, but ISIS has declared war on us years ago. It's like 2 years now. They literally declared war. They came out on television and said, we are going to war against America. And the jackass piece of shit we have in office went, they're a sophomore team. Yeah. And now that we're getting our ass kicked on our own soil, the Democrats are more worried about pushing gun control, as if this is going to stop terrorists from killing people. This sickness that is the anti-gun mind thinks they've been told by their master that if we give up our guns, ISIS will stop attacking us. And yes, Josh Earnest actually uttered those words. If we give up our guns, ISIS will stop attacking us. Jenna, didn't I say JVT? Or did I call him varsity? I meant to say, and I'm pretty sure everybody's kind of correcting me on it if I said it. I'm going through so much stuff, so I apologize if I misspoke. Obama called ISIS the JV team, the junior varsity. And for those that may have... Okay, and going through stuff so quickly, and thank you for pointing that out. I appreciate it. You go through stuff pretty quickly sometimes. Your mouth doesn't go as fast as your mind goes. For those that may have been in a coma, early Sunday morning, about 2:02 in the morning, a jackass called 911. Actually, before that, he called 911 to let them know and declare he was with ISIS. And I think it was he was declaring, he specifically came out and said al-Baghdadi. And he declared that he is doing this. He's going to go on the shooting rampage in the name of ISIS. As of the last numbers, which could have changed, There was 50 dead and 53 injured. And he ended up losing his life with a gun battle with the local police. And I say local because there's Orlando Police Department, the state police were there, and the sheriffs were there. I'm not sure which one actually got him. SWAT teams were there. And I tried to bring it up last night during the round table. And one of the things they're saying is he did not detonate any explosives. That it was the SWAT team doing a controlled explosion to distract the shooter while they made their successful attempt to rescue 30 hostages. Because from what the understanding is, again, things can change. This is facts are very fluid within this type of situation. He did the shooting, came outside. The police were there. He had already gotten a gun battle with the bouncer, who was a off-duty police officer. Sorry, Jenna. He got in that gun battle, but he had walked outside to see a sea of officers. He went back in. He ended up trapping, I think it was 30 people in the women's bathroom. And that's where the final gun battle, and he was taken down. The SWAT team is amazing. I give them kudos. They only had one injury. An officer was shot in the head, shot in his Kevlar helmet, I should say. The helmet stopped the bullet for the most part. It did shatter the bullet, and the fragments did hit him in and around the eyes, or the eye. But they're saying it's just minor injuries. That's all. This all took place about 45 minutes from my house. Depending on how I drive, 45 in traffic to an hour. These terrorists, Islamic extremists, jihadists, Muslim, I don't care what name you give them. These enemies of the United States have attacked us again. And again, our government is going to try to downplay this. They're going to try to twist it. And they already have. This attack was on a gay nightclub during a Latino night. And they're more worried about covering up that it was a Muslim terrorist attack. They're more worried with protecting the Muslims than trying to protect the victims. I have said for a while now on this show that the LGBT community needs to watch its back. Not that I was making threats, because the Muslims do not like that lifestyle. They don't like it to the point that in the Middle East, if you are convicted of being gay, lesbian, bi, transgender, your punishment is death. They take you outside and throw stones at you until you're dead, or they take you to a high-rise building, I guess would be the best words for it. A very tall building. They tie your hands, they tie your feet, and they throw you off that building. For what? Because of who you sleep with? And for years, you've been helping the Democrats. Democrats have been using your groups to stay elected And what do? They turn their backs on you and they want to protect the Muslims that did the shooting. They were trotting out, and I don't know how they did it, leaders of the LGBT community, trotting them out to talk about gun control, and not the fact that Muslims just killed your fellow members, your fellow Americans, because of their sexual preference. These supposed leaders don't give a shit. They're helping Democrats push an agenda of gun control. Do you actually think that if we take away guns, that would have actually stopped them from committing this heinous act? This is the second largest terrorist attack in the United States. The first one, they didn't use a gun. All they needed was box cutters to take over some planes. How about what happened at the Boston bombing? The Boston Marathon? No gun was used that day. A pressure cooker was used that day. Terrorists have used cars to run people over. They've used knives to cut people's heads off. If they take away the guns from people, what's going to stop ISIS? Is there some people in the conservative party that can't come to terms that your sexuality? Yes. And I ignore those people. I know it's easy for me to ignore because it doesn't affect me. But that is not a majority of our party. Most of us don't give a fuck who you sleep with. I don't want people telling me what to do in the bedroom. I don't have a right to tell anybody else. But the biggest thing is I can't understand for the life of me how disgusting these Democrats are. The blood was still running, and they're talking gun control. This had nothing to do with gun violence as it had to deal with terrorists. And I can't wrap my head around it. Do you actually think that they would not attack us just because we banned guns in the United States? You don't think they can get guns in this country? And stop bringing about the AR-15 military-style weapons. Why are they switching tunes on it from assault? Because it's being pointed out and the argument is winning because the truth is coming out that the AR-15 is not an assault weapon. An assault weapon is a term made up during the Clinton administration to describe the appearance of a gun. It makes it look scary. So now they think if they use the term military style. What the fuck do you think? Because I already heard that. Well, we need to change the Constitution of the Second Amendment because it does not match up with the times of that. It was about muskets. What do you think the musket gun was? A military weapon. That's what they used in the military. What your gun was that you had for your personal use, that was the military weapon until we were able as a country to start paying for our military's weapons. And then it was the same thing that the people had. So don't tell me that times have changed. because the First Amendment is still covered, whether you're on the internet, your cell phone, your house phone, whether you're talking in a chat room or not. First Amendment is there to protect you. And the internet was, they could never, ever imagine the communication styles that we have today. We as a country need to band together. We need to tell these Democrats to stick it right up their fucking ass. We are tired of these attacks and these mass shootings that they keep quoting about. And they keep in the NRA. No, it hasn't been any of the NRA members. It has to do a lot with Democrat members if you really want to get down to brass tacks. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on hppundit.com, shrmedia.com, and ICRN. We'll be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplansdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying half of the stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sako as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mud Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. it needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe. And after this weekend, nothing makes sense. I just, as usual, give a reminder that I do have a live broadcast. Reaver, go to reaver.one. That is REAVER.ONE. Click on the live stream. And if you want to support the show, if you want to get a t-shirt, if you want to get a coffee mug, or if you want to just support SHR Media for better conservative programming, go to REAVER.ONE. Again, that's Reaver.one. Click on the Reaver store. Or if you just go to the right side of the webpage, scroll down a little bit, you know, the store is right there. Sorry, I am not really in the mood to be playing Mr. Salesman, and it's just, it's not one of those days. What we need, and when these happen, we'll come together again as a country. We're going to come together, Democrats, Republicans. We're going to abandon this bullshit that's been going on. We're going to abandon the political correctness. You know what? They're just going to keep hitting us as a divided country, and we're going to unite, and we're going to finally end this fight. Doesn't happen. Both sides use it for political gain instead of doing what's best for the country. They use it for political gain. ISIS is not targeting soldiers. They're not targeting Republicans. Today or this weekend, I should say, they targeted gay Latinos. And it seems like the Democrats don't give a shit. They want to push their agenda. The gay and lesbian community was attacked. They are Americans. Just because, as I said, just because I'm conservative doesn't mean I don't care about them. I care very much about them. And I have said time and time again, if I got to be tortured with marriage, so should they. If I got to be tortured by it. And for those that aren't picking it up, that's actually a joke about the torture of marriage. I don't care who you sleep with, as long as you're not hurting anybody. Fellow Americans were attacked today. And the Democrats are pushing that it was a gun-toting American. He wasn't an American to attack Americans. He did it because of a religious belief. And that's what I've hoped with some of these two, Jenna, is that we would come together like we did with 9/11. And instead, it's a further wedge anymore. The Democrats are out for their agenda. And I'm sick of it. This should be about the victims. This should be about their families. But instead of talking about that, I got to sit here and argue with half-wits that think banning a item is going to stop this type of incidents from ever happening. This man, everybody's like, he's G4 security. Oh, he was trained by him. Listen, G4 security may be doing some stuff in other states, but in the state of Florida, no. G4 security is just like any other security company in the state of Florida. They get to go to guard checks and say, do you live here? Can I see some ID to show you live here? You're being too loud at your house. You know, I'm not trying to knock them. It's just the biggest thing that I see that they do, I know they do other stuff, is they do the security at the airport. Yeah, there's several different aspects of security at airport. I know at Tampa Airport for a while, G4 Security was the ones that were on the gates. And I'm not talking the gates for people to walk through to get to their plane. I'm talking about the gates where you drive through to get into the secured areas of the planes. Like when the food comes in for the flights, where they're going to drive up to the plane, load the plane up. That gate, where they check all the credentials. That's what G4 did at Tampa for a while. I don't know if they still are. So that kind of scares me that this guy was working for G4 doing that. But as for his tactical training, no. He may have just bought that weapon recently. And Sackhead Sean, I think it was Sackhead Sean, I'm positive was talking about that on Facebook, that he did it. He bought those weapons last minute, which was smart because he had been under investigation twice by the FBI. He hadn't done anything illegal to throw him on the list. But I'm pretty sure that raised flags immediately when he bought those weapons. And they didn't have time to do anything by the time he committed these heinous crimes. And he hadn't done really anything to deny him the weapons. And it sucks. And everybody's saying he shouldn't, but not. What did he do? Did he break our laws? Yes, he was investigated in 2013 and 2014. Thank you, Jenna. He was investigated. But did he do anything wrong? Did he break our laws? And I'm sticking up actually for the FBI because there's only so much that they can do. There's only so much our alphabet soups agencies can do. We can't be convicting people unless they do something wrong. This isn't... Oh, what's that Tom Cruise movie that, you know, they have these psychics that see into the future and tell if you're going to commit a crime, precog or something like that. And they convict you before they actually do a murder, before you actually break the law. We don't have that. We can't do that with our Constitution. And that's what they want. They want us to give up our freedoms. They want us to destroy our way of life. We are never going to be 100% safe. We can do things to help try. But they're using our laws against us. They are using the bleeding heart liberals against us. They know how to play these games. I know some people are going, it's not a game. You don't understand what I mean by that. And I don't have the inkling today to try to explain. He had to have had tactical training for hitting that hard. And this isn't to take away from Paris. I'm trying to point out that Paris, you had how many people they hit, how many targets and it was like 150 around there dead. This guy killed 50 people himself and injured 53. And the point that I'm making, he had some training with him. He had some tactical training, or he had to have some help, one or the other. And there is some reports that people were trying to exit some of the doors, and they couldn't get out those doors. So others are saying that they saw a second person. That could just be that in the stress of it, they saw actually the guy walk by twice and thought it was two people. But this guy had some kind of training. You don't get that from your local gun shop. Again, it was a LGBT nightclub. It was one of the premieres in Orlando, which, because it's a bar, it is automatically in the state of Florida a gun-free zone. It is a felony automatically to bring a gun into a bar in the state of Florida. So right there is your laws in Florida that say no matter what, these people will do whatever they want whenever they want. So banning guns won't work because the guns were banned in that bar. It is illegal to bring in a gun. It is a felony to bring in a gun into a bar in the state of Florida. It's like automatically 5 years. 5 years. So there's your gun ban that he ignored right off the bat. Should we go through all the other laws that he ignored to commit his crime? They're numerous. And the big one is he committed premeditated murder. Already, if caught, he would be doing hard time. It's I don't know what these people want or what they think they're going to get by going after a weapons ban. It's not going to stop them. California pretty much almost has a ban on AR-15s. It is hard to get one in the state of California. But do people remember December for the attack? San Bernardino attack? The terrorists got the guns in there. We're not going to stop these attacks. The one way that we can is that we hit them so goddamn hard. We hit these terrorist groups so goddamn hard. We make it where if someone even starts to utter the words, you know, we should attack the stop. Start looking around. You don't even want to think it. I'm not saying use nuclear weapons, but do something so heavy and nasty that they'll never attack us or think about attacking us, like Japan will not attack us. Put the fear of Allah in them. Stop this tossing bombs at them crap. It's not working. But on a quick note, I saw this and I have to say it. France gets attacked. And what do? They bomb the shit out of ISIS. Russia gets attacked. What do? They bomb the shit out of ISIS. We just got attacked again. and we want to take weapons away from the American people. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio and ICRN Radio. We will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplains.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying Kath was stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. Like I said, I can't make sense of what happened this weekend. So I won't be able to do my job in that aspect. We really need to come to grips as a country and understand that whether we like it or not, we are at war. We could sit here and get murdered and get picked off, or we could take the fight to them. This is why, growing up, my dad explained to me, we take the fight to our enemies so that they can never take the fight to us. So that they can't come here and kill our civilians. So we take the fight to them. This is what happens when you become weak and complacent. You have a fight on your soil. All I ask, don't buy into the twisting that the left will do with the narrative. They will twist this to make it a mentally unstable, and they're already starting. They are already starting with that narrative. The ex-wife is speaking, oh, he would go into fit of rages. He would beat me. He's just getting these fits of rages. They're already starting. This was not a man that was mentally ill. This is a man that's going to an extreme part of a religion and attacking. Yes, I know. Christians and Jews have started and done unspeakable things before. Yes, but we've learned from them. This is not the first time Muslims have done this. They've done it multiple times, and they think it's their destiny to do it. It's not something we can explain away. This is not a gun violence issue. And we do not have a gun violence issue in this country. When I got in this discussion the other night, we are at a record low on gun violence. We are at a record low of violence. But there's always a but. They still want to take away the guns. Gun ownership has skyrocketed and gun violence has gone down. Do you know why you think it happens more? Because it's plastered on these 24/7 news stations all the time. But still, this is not one of those American go nutty, go on shooting rampage incidents. This is a planned terrorist attack. Plain and simple. I just wonder, and I'm going to use the mantra of the left, how many more terrorist attacks are we going to take before we tackle this problem head on of terrorist attacks? How many more attacks do we take before we go and unleash hell on these bastards? Let the leashes off our military and let them do what they do. Let the leashes off and let them fight. Let them do what the military has done. Stop the politicians from interfering and let our military do what it has done. I usually kind of like say this is funny as an irony, but I can't use those words today. But this is a article that I went over just 2 weeks ago. Islamic State calls for attacks on the West during Ramadan audio message. That's what's the irony is. On May 22nd, it was released, ISIS calling for attacks on U.S. soil. 3 days ago, now it's 4 days, ISIS said they were going to attack here in Florida. Now, that doesn't mean we need to freak out every goddamn time we hear them make a threat, because one of their things they do is they level threats and nothing happens. They level a threat, nothing happens. Everybody gets complacent the next time a threat gets leveled. They've been making those threats, nothing's going to happen. And then that's when they wait. I'm not saying we need to be on pins and needles, but stop. Think. Stop sitting there going, they've been making a lot of threats lately. Nothing happened. It's all done. No. And if you see something going on in your neighborhood, you have a neighbor who's saying something a little kooky, fucking call someone. Say, hey, this guy's making a little threats against the United States and yada, yada, yada. And it's got me a little worried. I don't want to, sound like, I'm against Muslims. I'm not, but this is what's going on. I wanted to let the experts handle it. When the police come in and all the investigations are done, they're not going to go, you're a racist, like a Democrat. No. They're going to do their investigation and figure out what to do next, or if anything to do next. But they sent out a message, ISIS did, and it called on followers to launch attacks on the United States and Europe during the Islamic holy month of Ramadan, which began, I believe it was June 5th. Ramadan, the month of conquer and jihad. Get prepared, be ready to make it a monthly calamity everywhere for the non-believers, especially for the fighters and supporters of the caliphate in Europe and America. They wanted attacks on military and civilian targets. Does anybody see the irony? And of course, the Democrats blew this off. It's just right-wing propaganda. Those goddamn racists against the Muslims. They just hate the Muslims. This is just propaganda that they came up with. Well, doesn't sound too much like propaganda to me. But of course, now this ain't a terrorist attack. This is just a bunch of fucking yahoos that own guns that went nuts and decided to shoot up because they don't like a bunch of gay people. No, actually, it's your Muslim Brotherhood buddies getting together and going, we don't like gays, so let's kill them. And you're sitting there protecting them. And you're protecting them. Well, what is it called when you help and protect a criminal? Shit, what is that called? Isn't that aiding and abetting? And isn't aiding and abetting our enemy a form of treason? Methinks the Democrat Party is helping our enemy, Captain. How much longer are we going to sit back and keep letting the Democrat Party? They are aiding and abetting illegal aliens coming into this country. They're aiding and abetting criminals. They are basically a criminal enterprise. But yet nothing happens to them. Because what if one of us Americans went and did what the Democrats do? We had a company and we were helping these criminals. You know, damn well we would be locked up by now. We wouldn't be given the free run that the Democrats have been given. Oh, but it's a political party, so it's okay. There's excuses that come up for it. And I don't give a fuck if it's Republicans, Democrats, Whigs, goddamn Tooth Fairy party. They are helping. They are aiding and abetting our enemies. Our enemies literally are allowed into the White House. The Brotherhood of Muslims has been enemy of the state, a shoot-on-sight organization, are now part of the top rankings of our government. But no, let's keep voting the Democrats in. And if you think Hillary Clinton is going to be any better, we will be Muslim in no time. If you are Christian, you will be put to death. And Hillary doesn't give a shit. I'll be right back. This is the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio and ICRN. We will be right back.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplains.dailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying capitalist, stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mud Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Well, I'm coming back from the break, and unfortunately, some personal things have popped up, and I am going to have to end the show early today with deep apologies. Until tomorrow. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.